Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Michael Talks Football channel. Big news in international football, and it comes about the Euros host for next summer. The German national team, it seems like they have hired their new manager, and it is the one, the only, the ex-Bayern manager who was skiing and he got sacked, Julian Nagelsmann. We're going to discuss about, is this the correct choice by the DFB? How will Nagelsmann perform with the German national team? I mean, can he do wonders? You guys let me know in the comments down below. How will Nagelsmann do as the German national team manager? We're going to go more into the details and then see, does this make a logical choice for Nagelsmann personally and also for the DFB? It's just all short-term thinking right now. Short-term thinking to get results for next summer. But is this the correct choice? There might be a lot of skepticism in Germany, maybe even around the world, about you're getting Julian Nagelsmann. Is he going to be the guy who can galvanize his team, who can get the goal scoring, who can keep the clean sheets? Let's find out. But big up to Mount Porras and big up Heinz as well. How are you all doing? So let's get straight into the news. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button. Let's get the likes to about 30 likes. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Big up to Timothy and Whaley Pine, both members of the channel. Yeah, look, we'll discuss about it, Timothy, about maybe the other choices they could have gone for, but it seemed like it was only one choice, and that is Julian Nagelsmann. So, big up to Stefan. He says, Bild are reporting that the German FA and Julian Nagelsmann have reached an agreement over him becoming the next Germany manager. Contract only until Euro 2024, a salary of 400K per month. Jesus Christ. Julian, please give some to the Michael Talks Football channel. That would be lovely. And he can leave the position after the tournament. So that is an interesting thing with this contract and hiring Julian Nagelsmann. The newspaper also report that Nagelsmann's contract with Bayern has been terminated and he can move to Germany for free. Wow, interesting. Because remember, I think Bayern, they had to pay like 20 million to Julian Nagelsmann until, there we go, which means he can effectively give up the remainder of his contract, which would have ran until 2026, and he could have earned another 20 million euros. So Nagelsmann said, I don't want the money. Just give me the hell out of that contract. I'm going to go manage the German national team. Interesting. And now Stefan says it's a super interesting move, extremely short-term thinking from DFB, but as host of the tournament, they can't exactly write it off and bring in a long-term candidate either. Also means Nagelsmann can show what he can do and then depart for a preferred club role. Okay, so big up Abdallah and big up to Arman as well in the chat. Get your thoughts in the chat, people. I'll come to them in a minute. But I hope for Julian that he's making the correct choice. All right. He has had a great rise in his career. What is he? 35, 36 years old. He's been at Leipzig. He's been at Hoffenheim. Then he took the Bayern job. Maybe he just went to the Bayern job too early, and there was a lot of pressure, and that he was the Messiah. He's the young Mourinho. Obviously, not comparing him and Mourinho, but, that young, vibrant manager who's going to bring great attacking football and bring trophies along with it. Okay? I think, and I think most people will agree, is that he got unfairly sacked at Bayern. And you see now Bayern, they're not that good anymore as what we know of Bayern being so dominant. I think for Nagelsmann, he just says to himself, you know what? This is a fantastic opportunity. I get to manage the German national team at his age and the Euros at home. I think he looked at it and said, how can I deny that? It's a perfect opportunity. I can show my managerial skills in this format. But I just need to say that is Julian Nagelsmann similar to Hansi Flick? And is he going to bring that sort of club mentality where gun-ho approach, attacking, but then defensively, they're going to be a liability? Because we see with these German players, if we look at the squad, look, Hansi Flick had to go because it clearly wasn't working anymore. But look, let's look at the squad. Is the quality there for the German national team to win the Euros? I don't think so. Defensively, I look at them and I say, there's no quality. I only look at Rudiger and I'm like, okay, yeah, he can start. I look at Gosens, yeah, he can start. Other than that, Hummels, Sule, I guess you could play Malik Tiao. Nagelsmann has to approach this as an international man. Think to himself, okay, in that short, maybe week and a half where I have these players in November and in March, that I need to bring all these new tactics. Nagelsmann needs to just keep it simple. He just needs to work on the defense. And I think they have look, they got ballers, people. I know we can say and laugh at the German national team. They have Florian Wirtz. They have Musiala. They have Leroy Sané. They have Kimmich, and they have Gundogan. That's a good base. Now, the striker is an issue for Nagelsmann. Who is going to be that guy who gets them the goals? I think that's going to be the big issue. By the way, no, Trickster, no. So they terminated his contract. Here, I'll go back to it quickly. I'll just show this while people are looking. There we go. I just think that Nagelsmann, he cannot bring that approach of, yes, I want to play beautiful club football, because that was the demise of Hansi Flick with the national team. He tried to bring that club mentality into national team football, and it didn't work out. And that's how basically Hansi Flick then didn't get results, and eventually he got sacked because it was just getting horrible. Nagelsmann needs to learn what Hansi Flick didn't do right, and maybe Nagelsmann can work. I think for Julian, it's a good choice, right? He hasn't managed since, what was it? No, it was March when he got sacked. He hasn't managed since then. I think he's denied a couple of club offers like PSG, like Chelsea, and he said, you know what, I want to wait for the right opportunity. He can do this gig. He can then he can manage the German national team. He can imagine if Nagelsmann wins the Euros. I mean, he's going to be a freaking hero in Germany because of this national team and the state they're in right now. And then he can look at club level and think to himself, okay, maybe Real Madrid are going to be open. Maybe another team in the Premier League. Who knows what happens in the Premier League? We always see managers come and go. I think Nagelsmann just really needs, he's young, people. We have to remember this. He's young. He isn't, an experienced guy like I don't know. What would be a good example? Like Louis van Gaal. Like Louis van Gaal, experienced manager, had many years to go. Then he managed the Dutch national team 2014 and the last World Cup. And you see, he used that years of experience in football to prepare his team for the World Cup and the European. Well, they didn't play the European Championship. He didn't manage in that tournament. I just wonder for Nagelsmann, does he want to take this job just to really rub it into Bayern as well? He's like, see, you guys should have not sacked me. Now I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued by it. So what would measure success for Nagelsmann at the Euros? Would it be a, let's say, semi-final run? Would that be success? I think so. I think with the state they're in right now and with the quality that Germany don't really have compared to England or compared to France, I think a semi-final run for Germany would be great. And Nagelsmann will then say, okay, you know what? I tried my best. I go back to club football, and maybe in 10 to 20 years' time, I come back to the German national team. Okay, what other managers could they have really gone for? The DFB. They could have maybe gone for. I think they should have gone for Oliver Glasner. I think Oliver Glasner plays that sort of pragmatic football. Obviously, he used the wing backs at Eintracht Frankfurt, but he's shown in cup competition he won the freaking Europa League, people. He won the Europa League with Eintracht Frankfurt. I think Glasner should have been the number one choice. Obviously, Nagelsmann is going to be in the shout there. But other than that, I don't really like. I heard Louis van Gaal, the German. If the DFB would have hired Louis van Gaal, I don't think it would have really worked out. Yes, maybe he's got the experience and that sort of stuff. It's intriguing to see what you guys think in the chat as well. How far do you think Nagelsmann can take Germany? Obviously, we're going to see in October, November, and I'm going to go back to what their are coming up. Big up to Abdallah says so. Big. The German FA clearly realized we got the Euros next summer in our own backyard. We got to perform. We cannot pull a Qatar and get absolutely destroyed in the group stage and not even perform well. Germany have to perform at that next Euros. There's been this hype. There's this been building up to this tournament. Germany have to perform at this Euros. If they do not, then really German football is at a level we have never seen, especially in my lifetime. They're maybe confused. Pick up Wikitiki says, this is far too soon for Nagelsmann. He needs a club. Why can't Germany get Low back as an interim? This didn't need to be rushed. Yeah, look, maybe the German FA they're panicking right now. I think they're panicking, the DFB. They just say, okay, we made a wrong hiring and getting Hansi Flick. We couldn't get another guy. So let's just get Nagelsmann because he's out there. He's the young and up-and-coming manager. And maybe I think Nagelsmann has the motivation to say, you know what? I need to now do well. I got absolutely wrong dude by Bayern. I want to prove them wrong, and I want to prove a lot of people wrong. Let's see. I would take Nagelsmann as the long-term successor at Man City for Pep. Yeah, I honestly think he could be Man City's future manager, to be honest. And we're Bayern paying. No, yeah, sorry, I went through that. Big up Timothy says, no way they win it, but I don't think that's the goal. The goal should be quarters, possibly. And Germany always gets a tough group. Yeah, I think they're going to get a tough group. Sané hasn't been all that since leaving City. He's not going to be that City level again, but I think Sané has actually been really good this summer. He's been really good. I think he is a good manager. Look, there was so much news with Bayern, but we know Bayern. They're Hollywood FC. Every week there's something new. You see, there's news now with Thomas Tuchel coming out. There's just always going to be news. To me, Nagelsmann's level is somewhere between Dortmund and Bayern. So, what is that? Like an AC Milan? Something like that, I guess. Something like that. Looks like the United job might be open soon as well, possibly. Big up Ian says semifinals, semis. they should take him. From which team, Timothy? From which team? What's the young Swiss manager's name? From which team, Timothy? I got to know which one. I honestly think Glasner should have been I think so too. I think he would have been the best one just to sort of calm things down, play a bit more pragmatic. Look, Germany played well against France, but obviously that was France's sort of B/A team. They did have some 18 players in that squad. And they played a little bit more pragmatic. Even though the first half they were a bit more attacking against France, I think they just got to go a bit more pragmatic. They just got to defensively be solid. And hopefully Nagelsmann can bring it to this team. That's the number one thing, right? They have enough, I think, sort of individual quality to get them maybe 1 or 2 goals. But it's just defensively, Germany are a mess. And that is the first thing that Nagelsmann needs to work on. If he doesn't get that sorted out, then they're in for a long tournament. Mike, when things don't really go well, the pressure will come back. Hope he makes it far. I hope so too. I really hope so too. Not very far. These guys aren't very good. Obviously, they have to perform, but their whole squad is massively unbalanced. See, that's the thing. The German team, and that's another thing Nagelsmann needs to realize, they have a good midfield. I think they have good sort of attacking mid/wingers. Striker, defense, trash. And what do you really need in international football? You need a good defense, and you need a striker who can get you goals. That's the recipe to success, guys, for international football. Hi, Mike. Do you think Germany's form in the late 90s/early 2000s is similar to the rough patch they're now in now? No, not really. I mean, 98, they made it to the quarterfinals. 2000 Euros. What did they make it in 2000 Euros? Did they go on the group stage? I think they did. And then obviously 2002, they made it to the World Cup final with a squad that really maybe people didn't think they would make it to the final. So, but the thing is though, those teams had a striker. They had a striker, people. This nation that have produced the likes of Jurgen Klinsmann, Miroslav Klose, Mario Gomez, I can go on and on, don't have a striker right now. And that is the biggest problem that Nagelsmann will face. They really want Jurgen Klopp, but there's no way. No way. No way. They have no striker. And who should start at striker for Germany? To be honest, I think it should be Füllkrug. I think it should be Nicholas Füllkrug. I think that's the guy they should really go for starting. You cannot start Kai Havertz. Let's be honest here. You cannot start Kai Havertz. So let me just pull up their next couple fixtures for Germany. Right, this is their next 3 fixtures, I believe, heading into October, November. If you haven't done so already, people, hit the like button. Let's get it up to 30 likes. Come on, people. We can at least do 30 likes. Oh, there we go. Boom. So in October, they are going. I guess they're playing in the United States. Is that correct? I got to go to Wikipedia for this. I don't even know where they're playing. Oh, yeah, they're playing. So they got now 3 away games. 3 away games. Oh, they're going to Philadelphia to play Mexico. Okay. So they're going away to the USA and they're playing the United States, Mexico, and then they have a game against Austria. And right now, I am picking Austria over Germany. Call me crazy. Ralf Rangnick is doing an amazing job with Austria, and they're actually a really fun side to watch. So for this October break, I think the key for Julian Nagelsmann in your first week in the job is just find Okay, I'm back. So funny. Yesterday's stream, remember to go check out the double pivot. Episode 2 came out with me and Sadi. Been completely fine. I had no Wi-Fi issues. And then as soon as I go solo, the internet turns back to being crap. But I think the key for Julian Nagelsmann is find sort of those 8 to 9 guys that you can trust heading into March and then into the Euros. That is going to be the biggest thing for Julian Nagelsmann, I think, in the October break and the November break. If he cannot find those guys that he can trust, then he's going to face the same issues as Hansi Flick. International football, people, is about building a base, right? People can say, oh, Didier Deschamps is not a great manager. Didier Deschamps found 11 guys he can trust. He trusted N'Golo Kante, Pogba, Griezmann, Mbappe, Giroud, and he got results. Varane and Umtiti, he got the World Cup. Julian Nagelsmann quickly needs to realize in club football, okay, you can rotate and rotate. You know why? Because you work with them each and every day on the training pitch. International football, you cannot do that. Scrap it, Nagelsmann. You need to say, hey, when you're with the DFB in the background, you look at the board, right? You got the tactical board, you got all the names of the players. Then you realize to yourself, shit, I can't get transfers right now. So what should I do? I should find just 9 guys I can trust. And maybe you have 2 positions where you're like, question mark. We can then start this guy in this game. And then the next game, we can start the other guy. If he's going to rotate each and every game, like let's say he brings in 9 different players in each game, which I don't think he will do. I think Nagelsmann is smarter than that. Then he's going to struggle. So let's see. I just hope he can trust players like Moukoko. I think you really like. I know Moukoko not having a lot of minutes at Dortmund, but I'll give him a try. I mean, he's better than Kai Havertz. I don't care, man. He's better than Kai Havertz at the striker role. Come on, he's better than him. So give maybe a try to Moukoko. Excuse me. What about then at center back, Malik Thiaw and Rudiger? Try those 2 center backs. Malik Thiaw, left-footed, helps with the build-up play. Then you got Gosens at left back, helps there. Right back, it's just a matter of where does Nagelsmann want to play Kimmich? Because Kimmich, obviously, when he was at Bayern, Kimmich was playing as the DM most of the time. So these are going to be the issues that Nagelsmann faces. But I just want to hear from you in the chat, and if you're watching replay as well, drop a 1 in the chat if you think this is the right choice by Germany, or put a 2 if you think this is the wrong choice. I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the chat and in the comments down below. Big up to Nora. It says, not convinced by Nagelsmann. Kuntz, I would like Voller as well. He'll take a gun and take 100 years Heinkus out of retirement. Hey, man, might as well try and get Heinkus again. One more time. How old is he? Like 75, 80? Bro, that guy might get a heart attack. Big up to Radicals. Is internet freezing like Rudiger versus Japan? Yep. Pascal Gross, yeah, he's got to get some minutes, man. He's been fantastic with Brighton. France have a rough framework with different styles depending on the opponent, but Deschamps and his core players have been there long enough to win games by themselves. Exactly. And also, France have individual ballers who can just make a difference in the game. But I think Germany have it. They got Musiala, they got Wirtz. They got these individual qualities too. So it's just a matter of can they unlock it? Not convinced. Oh, you already said that. You already said that. Anymore. Malik Tiao, Hesberger Wi-Fi back again. Always. I don't know what it is up. What is it with this Wi-Fi? Big up the Jordan Davis says Nagelsmann. Wow, a lot of people are saying Nagelsmann is not the good choice here. It's not a good pick. This is not club football. It's international football. Sophisticated tactics are useless. Needed a manager that can galvanize and organize a team to be effective. That perfect, Jordan. I fully agree, and that's why I said you go get Oliver Glasner from Frankfurt. Obviously not. He's not anymore the manager of Frankfurt. I think he would have been the logical choice because he has his teams organized. Maybe it's not attractive enough, but he'll get you results. He'll organize the team. And that's what Germany needs is organization. These guys are a calamity. They're just all over the pitch. Look at the third and fourth goal for Japan against Germany in that 4-1 win. They were all over the pitch. They got dragged out like it's the freaking Pacific Ocean. And you couldn't find any of the players. So, yeah, look. I do worry for Nagelsmann. I think he would have been probably my second choice. I think he would have been my second choice, but I hope it works out. I don't think Nagelsmann needs this on his resume where, okay, you took the Germany job on a short-term notice because of hosting the Euros and it doesn't work out. I don't think Nagelsmann needs that on his resume. I think he's a very good manager, but he needs more experience in football. And then you take the national team job. That would have been more smart. Now, is it maybe an arrogant thing where he's like, you know what, guys, I need to prove myself. I'm tired. The goalkeeper is older. I mean, we can get away from the. No, we need to get away from it. We need to get away from Joachim Löw. He did great. He won the World Cup. Move away, people. Just go into a new direction. You don't need to go back to Joachim Löw and these managers. No, just go Oliver Glasner, man. That was the guy. Yeah, probably, Matt. Probably. I would agree. Big up RDZ says, didn't Nagelsmann talk out with half of the Bayern team? That's basically half the Germany team. Not a good move, in my opinion. Wow, a lot of people are saying this is not a good move. I am fearing for Nagelsmann. Okay, so let's take this into account. If this doesn't go well for Nagelsmann and they get, let's say, okay, surely they're going to make it out of the group, people. Like, come on. They're going to have a sort of favorable group. Let's think about it in the Euros. And basically, most of the third place teams get out of the group stage. So they'll be in the round of 16. Is it disappointing if they go out in the round of 16? Obviously, depending on the opponent. If they lose to England or France, for example, then you're like, okay, we don't have the quality anymore. I just hope it doesn't hurt Nagelsmann. I hope it doesn't because I think he's a really good manager. I really do, but this could really affect him. This really could. Why this is an accident waiting to happen. Man, Sebastian, you sound like Stephen A. Smith. They are an accident waiting to happen. This is why I get onto Fraudgate. There's no framework, just individuals kicking ball. Southgate is talking about people. Does the manager have to be German? Well, York's, to be honest, the German national team in their God knows how long history have never had a manager outside of Germany. So, and we saw with England when they went away from English managers with Fabio Capello and Sven-Göran Eriksson. How did that go? Yeah, it went terribly. So I'm always of the mindset that the national team manager needs to be from the country. I'm always an advocate for that because I just think they kind of understand, they have a connection with the players. Where if DFB hired Louis van Gaal, okay, obviously Louis van Gaal has lived quite a bit in Germany, managing Bayern Munich. understand and grasp the idea of, German football and the German national team. Maybe because he's been in Germany for quite a while. Man, really, that's crazy. That would be crazy. Man, why Nagelsmann? He is so inexperienced, and some of the Bayern players don't like him. Well, if they don't like each other, they're gonna have to like each other again. Yeah. This is bad. This is very, very bad. Oh, you want me to drop that video? Where is that video? Where is it? There we go.
This is bad. This is very,
Stephen
very
A.
bad.
Just for you, all right. Just for you and all you German people. I would love to see Germany versus Austria as the opening game. It's in Munich too. Yeah, I think honestly, Austria will win that game. If he fails, he'll be an easy target to blame. Exactly. If he fails and a failure to me for the German national team hosting the Euros is around a 16 exit. That's a failure. If that happens, they're all going to be like, "Oh, look, see, Nagelsmann was the problem. It's not our German football status right now or the quality we have." German football right now, let's think about this, right? It's behind Spain, it's behind Portugal, it's behind France, it's behind England. I mean, freaking Norway are producing better talents than Germany right now. Right now, Norway are producing better ballers than Germany. I don't see a Holland. Obviously, Holland is a crazy striker. I don't see a striker coming out of the German national team. The hope was that Mukoko would be that guy, but I think he just needs more time. He's still a young player. They're just going to paper over the cracks if they fail, and the German FA will be like, you know what? Next manager, come on down. Bro, the FA is not the example to use. They've also employed... True. If they didn't like the possession football, why would they hire another possession manager? I don't know. Artie said, I just think that the DFB are in a sort of flux right now where they're like, we don't know what we want to hire. they just want results. I think they just want results. And like I showed you guys, this is their next 3 games. They got USA, Mexico, and Austria. If they don't beat Mexico, and I'm telling you, Mexico are garbage. They are horrifically bad. They just drew 3-3 with Uzbekistan. So if Germany can't beat this Mexico, unless Chucky Lozano shows up again, then I'm going to be like, hey, you know what? I honestly don't think Germany are going to make it out of the group. So Nagelsmann has a lot to work with. Like, right now, who are you guys picking? USA or Germany? I'll keep my answer quiet. Hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray. I love Stephen A. Oh, wow. Okay. To be fair, Beckenbauer was Bavarian. It can work with foreign managers. Yeah, I guess so. DFB are a bunch of clowns. Nagelsmann should have waited for a job. Poch could be gone. Eric Ten Hag, Pioli too, possibly Terzic. At the end of the season, the football landscape could change completely. Exactly. And also, the Euros won't end until July. And most teams will have a manager by then. So if you're Nagelsmann and you're only taking a contract until the Euros, and when the Euros end, that's July. Most teams will have a manager. So Nagelsmann, okay, if he does well and he gets to the semifinal, he'll be like, yeah, you know what? Let me just continue. Maybe I'll just stay in this national team gig for a while until the World Cup and then see how the World Cup goes. Ai, näin. Ei, mä oon paras, oikeesti. Jos sä valittaa niinku Saksa tällä hetkellä ja ei Jenkki, niin kyllä... Ei. Berhalter Nagelsmann. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, why do you have to keep reminding me of that name, Greg Berhalter? I forget he's always the national team manager. Oh, the bozo he is. So, overall, people, this is a risky hire. This is a very, very risky hire. I hope it works out for Nagelsmann because I think his reputation is not on the line, but it could take a dent if this doesn't go well. Then clubs will look at it and be like, are you really like that guy? You know, because then they'll look at this, right? And Nagelsmann didn't win a DFB Pokal with Leipzig or with Bayern. Yeah, I don't think he won a DFB Pokal with Bayern. If you're like a Real Madrid or if you're like a Man United or a Chelsea, you know, we never know what can happen in football, people. They'll look at his how he does in cup competitions and think to themselves, can you lead us to Champions League glory? Remember, Nagelsmann lost to Villarreal. The Yellow Submarine, he lost to them. And they didn't even look good in that second leg against Villarreal. So this is a lot is on the plate here for Julian. And Julian, you got to show up. If you don't, people are not going to rate you, and then clubs will be looking at you like, hey, you know what? Maybe you're just a Leipzig guy. Maybe you're just, on Hoffenheim level. Even though I don't think Julian Nagelsmann is at that level. I think Julian can really manage a club like a Real Madrid, like a Manchester United, like a Liverpool, like a Man City. I think he's a brilliant manager, but he is still sort of naive, and I don't think he was a professional footballer. So, if I remember correctly, I don't think he was a professional footballer. I'm going to just quickly check that again, just to remind myself. Oh, yeah, I guess so. I mean, his youth career, he was in Augsburg in 1860 Munich. So, I think he had some injuries, and that's why he didn't really get to play. Okay, I see. So, he could have been possibly, but I think he needs to just sort of work on the man management. And in international football, a lot of it is also man management, that you galvanize the team and you represent the nation well. Does Nagelsmann have that in his collection right now? No, you would say no. So it's a risky one. But let's see. Let us see what happens. A couple last comments, and then I head out. People, remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We are close to 7,000 subscribers. So if we can get to 7,000 subscribers by the end of this week, we will have a 7K live stream. Big up to Wiki Tiki, says it'll take a big dent. He didn't get the PSG job. He needs a structure. So United is off the yeah, definitely United is off the cards. Pool makes sense, but Klopp, City is a no. Napoli, Milan, yeah, possibly. I mean, could be one of those two jobs are going to be free. Even Dortmund. Ajax could be available soon. He could rehab his career there. I think that would be a good choice. I think playing for a national team level is more important than being from the same country. Yes, agreed, Matt, agreed. Julian, I hope it works out, buddy. I hope it works out, but this is a risk. And maybe he just thinks to himself, I want to prove people wrong, and maybe I can do it for Germany. If somehow Julian Nagelsmann wins the Euros with Germany, his level's up here then, people. I mean, he's going to be a superstar, man. I don't care what anybody says. If he wins the Euros with this team, top manager. I just don't think he can do it because I don't think he has the players. I don't think he has the players right now. So let us see what happens. Last comment by Jordan David before we head out. Germany needs to go back to German-type football. Good discipline, structure, and positioning, a line-breaking passes, long balls in behind, crosses into the box, and good pressing. I think the one thing that we always think about with German football, from the early 2000s, early 2010s, is they were so clinical on the counterattack. When they had Özil, Schweinsteiger, Thomas Müller, and Podolski at that 2010 World Cup, God, every time they were on the counterattack, they looked like they were going to score. Obviously, Özil was the brilliant playmaker. Now, I don't really see that. I just see a team that wants to be a possession-based team. They want to have 60, 70% ball possession. That's not German football. That's not. They have to sort of mix in both, right? You can obviously, maintain possession, dictate play, but also you got to be ruthless and be just direct. That's one thing. I think they also got to give back their mentality. The German football have lost their mentality. Before, you feared this team. Now, you want to play them. When you see that jersey, you're like, hey, I'm ready. I'm ready to cook. That's what most opponents are thinking. Look at the Japanese. They don't fear Germany anymore. Back in the day, they're probably like, fuck. We're gonna have a tough game today, people. So we gotta be really physically ready. Now, easy. Germany has to reestablish that in their football. If they don't, and they want to be basically a Spain 2.0, that will be their downfall. Yep, big up, Matt. So, people, have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. We might have a match reaction to Newcastle Milan. If we don't, I'll be live back on Thursday. We're going to have a UCL recap of all the games, and I mean all the games, even Shakhtar versus Porto. So stay tuned for that. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And adios, and Nagelsmann, good luck.